Hi, my name is Vickie Spray, and as a spiritual counselor, I have been a witness to an amazing human evolution in consciousness. So many people have come to me in their awakening process, needing a little bit of help. And if you are one of those people, and you obviously are, or you wouldn't have clicked onto this video, I know it hasn't been easy. it's actually been pretty tough. But we have reached a new level of our awakening. It's huge. It's really, really big. And we need help. And thank goodness for YouTube, and thank goodness for all the spiritual counselors and all the healers that have come forward. My goal is to share with you the words that Spirit has given me. And I'm delighted to be able to do it. It's a big deal for me, because I have found my purpose. And after many, many years of looking and struggling myself, I came upon this service to others. These Loved Human videos are going to be a venue to help my subscribers and my viewers to exchange the old tools that were picked up early on as a way to deal with life and move through life. Exchange those tools and exchange them for something that's useful, that's something that gets us from third dimensional to the other dimensionals, where joy is a constant traveler in our lives. If you think about it, past lives, what was it about? What are all the past lives about? But one thing, and that is to experience, to know our divinity. And we cannot know our divinity when we are carrying around third dimensional human tools. Today's video is going to be exchanging the tool of worry for self-trust. To be able to walk on this earth with self-trust, instead of using worry as a way to control or diminish the pain. We are able to walk trusting ourselves that we will know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, when we need to know how to do it, and when to do it. It's a powerful thing to be able to walk on this earth as a human being, carrying the spirit of the universe within you, and be able to trust yourself to know that you're going to make a decision that is worthy of that divinity. It's a powerful thing, and I'm hoping that you will surrender to it. And so, all of my videos are going to have a short meditation in the very beginning, and that is just for you to calm your mind and to calm your heart, to allow your body to relax into it. Most of us are traveling in a state of fight, flight, or freeze, and so we need to intentionally slow down our mind and slow down our heart. And so, I simply ask you to do this. You merely pay attention to your breath, just like in any of yoga, any of the things that you're already doing or wanting to do. You're just going to pay attention to your inhale and your exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. This allows you to get in touch with the wisdom that is within you. It allows you to get to your power. Breathe in and breathe out. And so you can simply set the intention that I am willing to heal my mind and my heart. I am willing to exchange the tool of worry for self-trust. I am willing to know my divinity, to experience myself as divine and human form. And so please, while you're in this relaxed state, sit back, stay in that relaxed state, and listen to the words that the Spirit has given me for your greater good, for your ease and your grace, to travel in this lifetime from a place of strength, power, and absolute unconditional love. Thank you. Now just relax. From worry to self-trust. Your parents, more than likely, used worry as a tool for their life journey. You most likely have done the same. You might have already discovered that worry weakens you instead of strengthening you. You may have realized that to use a tool such as worry can suck every bit of energy you possess. Worry is seen as love. It's used as a coping mechanism and sometimes latched on to for getting something a human may want. The approach is a negative seeking a positive. It is subtle and extremely powerful. It creates a gerbil cage of unmet desires. It doesn't work. It is a tantalizing approach, though, to handling life because it gives humans a sense of control. If we can imagine it, we can control it. If we can foresee it, we can mitigate the potential harm. If we can look at all possibilities of negative outcome, we have prepared ourselves for whatever might go wrong. Our life-creating thoughts are used to counter some type of negative, frightening potential. Scientists have stated that humans will fill in quiet moments with negative thinking. We subconsciously think we must fill our minds with negative in order to feel safe from a frightening world. So, we create an inhabitable inner realm to match the inhospitable environment. No wonder so many people suffer from anxiety and depression in the Western world. This tendency to fortify ourselves with frightening possibilities starts early in our human development, and some would say in the womb. As early as 3 months old, a child will discover they own hands, and they are likely to discover that these hands can be hurt if something were to pinch them. We might not realize it, but this is a monumental occurrence in human life. That child now realizes that that child can be hurt, and their focus will be pulled more and more away from the spiritual realm, from where they recently resided, into what I call prevention awareness. The child never wants to feel that pain again. That child's mind is now primed to pay more attention to the physical and less attention to the information that is outside of their 5 senses. This is how the 5 senses gain their power, and the telepathy and the other psychic abilities are put to the side. Each day that this child lives, information about all the ways to be hurt will be gathered and lodged for retrieval from the subconscious mind. And of course, that child will also be influenced by the fears of those in the environment in which the child is being raised. Children are wired to read the energy in the room. We are wired for survival and must maintain that survival. The child is likely to experience some major blows emotionally as well. We all do. It's unavoidable. Any human born into humanity is going to be hurt emotionally by those I call tall people. These people can pick a child up from a solid and trustworthy floor and take them through the air clear to the other side of the room. These tall people have control of when the child will again land on a solid surface and where. These tall people control the food. They decide what the child will wear and for how long. Unfortunately, most of these tall people have not gone through the awakening process and are living by the seat of their stress hormones, and though they will try hard not to take it out on the child, they will fail miserably on some days and not so much on others. So now the child knows there is danger of being hurt physically and is slightly confused about love. The same mother who will sacrifice her life for the child will lose her mind in the afternoon and scream at the top of her lungs words that are undecipherable and frightening. The father, whose bent back is a horse ride on one day, can change the whole environment within the same 4 walls when he walks through the door on the next. It doesn't take imagination to realize that this scenario can be altered drastically by trauma. The feeling of safety has been severely compromised, and that information is lodged in the subconscious mind for future reference. It must be. Humans survive on the information we download. And then that child begins to move in a world with others and discovers the joy and the heartache of those interactions. A fragile identity based on acceptance from others is forged early on. It makes so much sense that humans would need to clutch onto something that would alleviate the stress of being human. Not only are we born into a stressed environment with tall people in survival mode, but then we get introduced to children just learning a pecking order of influence, and we'll find ourselves on the top in one group and on the bottom of another. Our fragile selves of who we think we are, based on our childlike mind, will receive 1,000 disappointments before we even get out of the first grade. We will worry ourselves from one human experience to another. We will see ourselves as victims and will suffer the circumstances that victim mentality manufactures. And by the time we're adults, we have done all we can to mitigate the dangers of being human. Some humans will develop methods of staying below the radar so that no future damage can be done. They marry for safety, convenience, and predictability. They choose jobs that offer the same. They slay their souls to maintain normalcy and live by the expectation of others. Other humans will seek material wealth to fortify themselves from harm. All of this is fueled by fear and victim consciousness, and it can be transformed. It is being transformed in powerful ways by ordinary humans who are waking up to the truth of their identity. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt because I experience it in the people I serve. As a spiritual counselor, I am allowed to be a witness to the profound wisdom of humans and to observe that there is an intelligent energy that is constantly steering humans in the direction of their own emancipation. Each one of my clients has demonstrated there is a desire to be realigned with their own wisdom. That is why they sought help. They recognized they had gotten away from their ability to trust themselves. They want it back. And there is a part of them that believes that this is possible. They are absolutely correct. The power of the human mind allows us to extract meaning from our human experiences. We have an experience and then we categorize that experience for future reference. The unfortunate thing about that ability is that most humans are stuck in the overstimulated consciousness of fight, flight, or freeze that requires us to interpret meaning from a fearful place. Our experiences often get filed away as a cautionary tale. We misinterpret people's reactions to us, question our worth in the world, and feel powerless to change our circumstances. An overstimulated state of consciousness must react to the world defensively and with the hypervigilant eyes to maintain a sense of safety. This consciousness does not allow to our psychic inherent instincts. It doesn't allow access to them. We are too afraid to risk trusting ourselves. The great news about humans is that we can, and many are in the process as we speak, you're probably one of them, training ourselves to trust ourselves. We can learn to hear beyond the roar of survival mode. We can trust ourselves to handle the joys, the challenges that life provides in ways that don't have us experiencing the extremes of doubt and second guessing. We can learn a different method of living. We can depend on the part of ourselves that isn't afraid of anything, to calm the part of us that is afraid of everything. The first movement toward this beautiful possibility will be that the wound of our past mistakes will come roaring to the front of the mind as it wants to provide the innumerable reasons why it is dangerous to trust oneself. Ignore it. That would be like a part of you listing the ways in which you misspoke when you first learned to talk, or when you fell when you were first learning to walk, or when you got a wrong answer on a test. It doesn't matter. You overcame those obstacles by focusing on what worked for you. Move forward. Can you doubt that there is a wisdom within you? If the focus was taken away from the fearful possibilities and put toward what you have accomplished, would you be willing to consider that you have something inside of you that can be depended upon to prove a useful tips for living? Of course you can, and of course you do. Inner wisdom does not ever go away. It can't. It is a part of who we are. After awareness of our tendency toward worry as a safety mechanism has found some firm ground, we can then begin to change our mind. A useful mantra for reclaiming that wisdom and turning it into a mature and stable tool for living in a human body is, I possess inner wisdom that can be trusted. My body agrees. I possess inner wisdom that can be trusted. My body agrees. I possess inner wisdom that can be trusted. My body agrees. This one change in thought, said enough times, can begin the process of rewiring the brain for a different possibility. Stay with it and be watchful toward what your inner self would have you do next. There is an aspect of you that wants to heal. There's an aspect of you that has never been hurt by anything anyone has ever done. It is who you really are. I'm hoping that these words got into your subconscious mind and that you'll be willing to say them so that your brain can be rewired and your body can feel the relaxed state of security and self-trust. I hope you'll join me in my next video. Please listen to this one as many times as you need to. Humans have to do the same thing over and over, and we have to hear the same thing over and over for change to occur. Humans are loved. Bye for now.